What it do, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm back. We're back. Everybody's back. We're getting pretty close. We're on the tail end. We're in the very last leg, y'all. The main event. The one I know I've been looking forward to the most. Because it's the one that has to do the most convincing for me. And that is for the goddamn Batman. Will I be a believer? Or will I still be on the fence? Who knows? Who knows, my friend? Who knows? Is everything where it should be? Yes, yes, yes. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah? Coming in spitting rhymes, bruh. That's how we feeling? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Good to go. Yes, sir. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Right now, Wonder Woman is playing some game or some shit. But then at 8:10, the Suicide Squad video game is to be revealed. And I'm to be excited. Getting me my snacks ready because we getting the Batman. That's the name of it. They revealed it for Shazam 2. I didn't see that anywhere. But the title's okay, I guess. It's not bad. Not bad. I expected a little more. I said for the finally. I'm so stupid. In my tweet. It's supposed to be finale. Golly. What happens when you do things in a hurry? Delete the motherfucking tweet. Yes, I'm sure. Let's retweet this again because I'm an idiot. Finale. Ha! Fixed it. Why all of a sudden now it's too much? Hallelujah. Live action Red Hood and Batgirl. Yeah. Wait, what? And Batgirl? Oh, shit. Did they put a cast? I wanted to see the Titans panel, but I wanted to see, but I didn't end up doing it. I wanted some time to just relax a little bit. Excuse me. So hopefully I accomplish that. But the title of Shazam's not bad. I saw the post of the Suicide Squad. That's very fucking awesome. They're still playing a stupid game? Yes, they are. Okay. We'll share the screen in a little bit. So I put it there. I definitely fucked up there. That's not a cut, dude. I lost my whole mind with that trailer. That's like unreal. That trailer blew my fucking mind. But Red Hood we got. Red Hood is either really fast. So either they're gonna kill him, or he's just gonna be so fucked up and pissed off between everything that happened, he's just gonna go rogue and become Red Hood. Which is okay if it's done right, if the motivation is done good. Damn, what if all motherfuckers go that fast? If the motivation's good, it all comes together. I don't care. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's awesome that they settled with Darkseid. That's how you know they wasn't fucking around. They was like, oh, here we go. Only 13 of them motherfuckers. Hallelujah. What? Why would you? Lord, that's so stupid. It did. Excuse me. It did look like a bunch of panels. Fuck it. I think they're getting ready to start. Let me share my screen so we can get this motherfucker cracking. Yeah, it was confirmed from the Desaad.
You think, Jonathan, do you have anything to say to defend your case? Do you know any information? Are you guessing anyone?
I'm innocent.
You don't need to defend yourself?
No.
No? Okay.
These guys have put themselves into himself with the villain.
Jonathan's in England. He's like, I just need to go get a pint. I did this.
He's in Phoenix, Arizona. The accent is a whole thing that he does.
It's a facade, see?
What the
Oh my disguise, isn't it?
Stop it. What the hell?
Robin was trying to vote out Kristen as the villain, and we've now revealed that Kristen was not a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And wait, who else voted for Connie?
Is it Kelvin?
There we
Did
go.
Kelvin vote for Connie?
Why is there so much space
All right.
there?
I did think it was Connie.
Yeah.
But we've had
Okay,
a long
But we're pretty sure you're the detective now.
gone back like a decade.
But
Connie.
so
How long is this
everyone
game?
sure that Calvin is a detective. Is it true? Is it false? We don't know, but we are sure.
So it's between Kristen, Jesse, and Kelvin, and Jonathan?
No, it's
We don't care
between
about
Jesse,
that, so we're just
Jonathan, and
gonna-
Kelvin. And you.
And Robin.
I keep going back to Jonathan. Sorry.
Hallelujah.
God bless
Okay.
you. I don't know why.
Hallelujah.
I don't know. It's
All
What, is
right.
it down to fucking two right
quiet,
now?
insular thought thing.
On it.
Oh, who would we like to vote out? Let's do a vote for Jonathan. Who's voting for Jonathan? Okay, we got two. Jesse, three. Well, I don't even think
It should be the Suicide Squad right now.
Jonathan, unfortunately,
You're
out. You're out, man. You're out. Do you want to reveal what you are?
I was a civilian, man.
I actually think that was the last round because the villains did win this game. Villains, would you like to reveal yourself?
I knew it.
It's my weapon.
I do not care about this damn game. I want to see the Suicide Squad.
Pedro was the superhero.
I'm so sorry. Why capture you?
I mean, it looks cute. It looks fun.
Yeah, you get to invest. So you
But-
chose. I think the first one was Pedro. You chose to. Yes, and I said that he wasn't a
I
villain.
didn't want him out of
Girl.
the game.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a villain, so I told you that no, he was not a villain. So, but he got captured, and he should have saved himself. Because if he saved himself, then he
Oh my
wouldn't have
gosh,
been captured.
Pedro, yes. You were like.
Instead, I saved Robin.
But he. That is so stupid.
Let's come on.
I'm not gonna do that, but I feel like now we need to start to play the
I know.
game.
Now I know I would never trust Robin, not a damn.
Yeah.
She really gave herself out. I did know the moment she was attacking Kristen, I was sort of like, wait, what?
I know, but I
I
just.
knew it. No one listened to me. It was
I was
just
supposed to
civilian.
Kristen was on her.
I really enjoyed watching you work.
Patience is not one of my virtues.
That was.
I'm working on it.
I read
Well,
it.
well, thank you everyone for coming and playing the Werewolf 1984.
I literally just
That was
watched
a
Matt's
lot of
story
fun.
as I clicked on the live and you were watching it.
Thank you so much.
Watching his story? How do you know I was watching his story?
Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of DC.
Okay, here we go.
Now, our next global host is fluent in everything from games to geek.
Yes, video games! The Suicide Squad!
DC fandom. There is so much to see and do. Now, gaming is
Lay it
my
on me.
passion, and I am hyped because we have another announcement from Warner Brothers Games. I think we should share the killer news with you. And who's going to do it? The one and only Will Arnett.
Ow!
Oh.
Son of a bitch, that hurts. Golly. DC, you have the cheapest teleporters. That hurts. All right, Fandomers. I think I know why I'm here. Check this out.
Straight to it. Warner Brothers Games is killing it. Okay. Is that Brainiac? Jigger. Shit, that's Brainiac. Okay. Woo-hoo.
I've got eyes on the target.
Air support is getting cut to pieces. Where the hell are you?
I'm going in. We lost the target. Repeat. Task Force X has lost the target.
Damn it! Argus 3 is taking heavy fire. Get to
Okay.
Park ASAP.
Don't worry, boss. We got this. Hey, Boomer! Lay down suppressant fire.
Keep it down, Hal. The ears are still ringing after that
Who's the
last
voice of
fire.
Harley?
What is that? Australian for hangover?
Yeah, with the black one.
I believe I can translate.
Very nice.
Boomerang has a concussion from the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes,
Who the hell was that? Oh.
I never
miss.
Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is in the open. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and engage. For I have
This is
another reason to
interesting.
bomb those bombs in your heads.
So it's just those four? Hey. Na 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 na. So it's the Suicide Squad to take out Brainiac. Oh, go ahead. Hey. This is really cool, actually. Hey, hey.
Smooth. Well,
I like that design of Deadshot.
That's reminding me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who are we supposed to be killing again?
Is this the same one that did the voice for Injustice? That looked like Superman. It was.
Look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
What a show off. Beat it, Spandex!
Yeah, I think it's
We're on
him.
a top secret assassination mission here.
no.
It looked like John Cena.
So, figure out who we're killing yet? Oh, fuck.
So Brainiac has the Suicide Squad.
Done that, Shock.
That looks awesome. That looks really fucking awesome.
Wow. Okay. Very dangerous. Yeah, that's more dangerous than they said it would be. It's come on, get me out of here.
That looks awesome.
Please.
Looks like the voice of Boomerang is from the Assault on Arkham.
Hello?
Oh, I got someone! I got someone!
Okay. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? I'm Harley freaking Quinn, fart face. Who are you?
Wow.
Hey, Jerks, come here.
Hey, who is it? A new lawyer?
So I'm just syncing it up.
Played 1-1, but no. I'm Will Arnett.
Will Arnett? I'm your biggest fan. BoJack was the only thing that kept me going in Bel Rev. Every night. Starved. Tortured. Experiment.
Wait. An actor? Great. Hang up, Quinn.
No. Wait. Hang on. Don't hang up. Look, maybe I can help. What seems to be the problem?
It's Walla. She wants us to kill the bloody Justice League. We're way out of our depth here. We need to get out of this insane mission.
Speak for yourself. I can see the headlines now. Harley Quinn finally kills the bat.
Okay, well, there you go. That is the can-do attitude that I'd expect from a group called the Suicide Squad.
That moniker does not bode well for our chance of success.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you just give me the
I
rundown?
need the voices.
Who are you guys? What kind of powers you got? I mean, what are we working with here?
Captain.
Sure thing, William. The name's Harley Quinn, and you could say I'm the leader of our little task force. I like baseball bats, explosives, dead superheroes, things that go kablooey, and the Great British Bake Off.
I'm Deadshot. Team leader, world's deadliest assassin and most dangerous marksman alive.
Yo, game's gonna go crazy, bro. Next year.
King Shark. I am a demigod, the rightful ruler of the seas, and therefore the true team leader.
And last but not least, the one, the only, Captain Boomerang.
What does Will Arnett have to do with this? Is he voicing Batman again or something?
A super villain. But don't try calling me the leader of this sorry lot. No, thank you. Leaders are the first to get their heads blown off.
Okay, so what? And forgive me, you throw boomerangs?
Exactly. Don't know why it took everyone else so long to get it.
Oh, sweetie, we just didn't care.
Okay, well, I mean, does anyone have laser vision or like
The voice
a
isn't bad.
kryptonite-powered suit? Or
You might have us confused with Lex
Is he
Luthor.
playing Lex Luthor?
there's gotta be a way. I mean, the world is depending on you guys, right? When I look at you, I don't see a drunk or a killer or an evil clown lady or a giant monster.
Hey, who are you calling a giant monster?
No. You see, what I see heroes.
You must not have heard of us. We ain't your heroes.
Okay, fine. Criminals ready to pay back society and earn themselves a full pardon.
Full pardon? That ain't bad. Well, do we get to kill them all? Even Flash?
Yes, the mission is literally called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That is kind of the whole point.
Ooh, do I get to, devour them and gain their powers?
I don't know, is that a thing? I mean, I can't see why not.
Alright, screw it. If we're gonna die on a mission,
No, it's
might as
happening.
well do it paying back those self-righteous pricks.
Then it is decided. Let us do it for acclaimed actor Will Arnett.
Will!
Yes, thank you. I do what I can with my looks and my steely soft voice and of course my looks. I don't know if I mentioned that. Nothing.
What is happening?
Well, thank you guys. I really Appreciate it. Have fun with your mission.
Take care, Will. Huge fan, like literally the biggest one.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Yeah. I have a feeling that things are about to get really messy.
I don't think it's marketed for 10-year-olds with them throwing shit around. Literally. The word shit.
We're not doing this, right? Not a chance.
That still stings. I mean, it beats the subway, but... Whew. Oh.
Who's this guy?
Hey, you must be Sefton.
I am indeed. Hi, Will.
Hey, man. Sefton Hill from Rocksteady Studios, y'all. Sefton, how'd you get here? Did DC also teleport you into the cyberspace realm?
No, they just sent me this green screen for my house.
Is it? You got a green screen? Good. That's neat. Lucky for you. DC actually teleported me into the Fandome, which really hurts. But good. Green screen. You're lucky. Cool. Good for you. Okay, well, I guess, look, the cat is finally out of the bag here. This is Rocksteady's new game, and there is a lot of anticipation behind it, right? And the Arkham games are extremely popular, and buzz has been building behind this new game. So, what can you tell us?
Well, I'm really excited and proud to be able to reveal Rocksteady's Suicide Squad. You know, it's a unique new franchise for gaming, and we've been able to put our own spin on it and create something really special that I think gamers are going to love and enjoy. Obviously, it's brought to you by the team that created Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And in fact, this is a continuation of the Arkham verse. So a lot of the through threads and the storylines you're going to see come to fruition in this game. So we've been able to combine all of that core DNA with some really great, unique innovations and create what we think is going to be a totally original gameplay experience.
Okay, well, that's awesome. But let me just ask you this. Why this game? Why Suicide Squad?
Well, when we start any game, Rocksteady games are all about a character-driven game. You know, it's all about that kind of heart and soul of the characters that we want to bring to life. So we worked with DC. We looked at, all the different properties, all the...
I thought it was the big screen the whole time.
And the fact that it's fusing all of these characters together. When you're creating a game, you're creating a universe, and you want to build it with real heart and soul inside it. And that's what really inspired us to make the Suicide Squad game, because DC had this fantastic roster of villains, and being able to actually play these villains and see the interaction and life between them is something that got us really energized and excited.
I guess for me, my biggest question, and really probably everybody's biggest question that they want to know is, and no offense, but what is wrong with you, man? Why are you making a game about a group of bad guys taking on some of the most beloved heroes of all time?
Well, I think for us, we always want to put our characters in interesting and exciting and dynamic situations. And it felt like the Suicide Squad naturally really lends itself to that. Even just starting with their boss, Amanda Waller, she's part protagonist, but also part antagonist. She's stuck these nanite bombs in their heads, and she's forcing them to do this impossible
That Superman
mission,
looks like John Cena.
Take on and kill the Justice League. And I think
straight up,
that's where you always find, I think, the magic is when you can put characters in these situations that are absolutely impossible. And then to a certain extent, these things kind of write themselves, because once you've got that premise, you just let that live and breathe, and you think, right, well, how the hell can the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League? How can that even happen? And really, that's the genesis of the game. And then it's down to us to take the player on this journey and tell this story of how that could even be possible.
Hearing that, let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the stuff that the hardcore gamers like me want to know. Exactly what kind of game is this? What am I doing in this game?
So the game is a hybrid of Rocksteady's experience in bringing characters like Batman to life, that superhero empowerment, combined with really powerful, awesome gunplay. So the superhero empowerment, I guess supervillain empowerment here, is looking at each one of the individual squad members and looking at what's unique about them and transferring this into really powerful gameplay and using, again, those skills and techniques that we've learned over the years, but actually adding more richness and depth to each of them. So each one of them has a richer move set, more things you can do, and more skill required to master them than you even had with Batman. So to do that across the spectrum of Suicide Squad members, it's been something that's been really enjoyable, and I'm really proud of what the team have achieved there. And then you can combine that with the
Boomerang's really fast.
The awesome weapons you're developing over the course of the game, combined with the melee weapons that you have, like Deadshot's wrist cannons, Harley's baseball bat, sharp wielding twin cleavers, and special enhanced traversal moves you can use, like Deadshot, doing a fuel dump and setting enemies on fire. You know, so it's really about creating a whole spectrum of possibilities for the player to use and just letting them loose and enjoying them as much as they can.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Let's take a couple questions now. We've got a question from Altair from the UK, and he wants to know, what has been the most exciting part about working on this new game?
Well, I think one thing we were really excited about was to bring Metropolis to life. So Metropolis itself is really the fifth character in the game, and it's something we've treated the same with Gotham in Arkham City, Arkham Knight.
Right, that's what I said. Why is he fast?
Giving this city life beyond just kind of bricks and mortar and making it something that really speaks to the player and being able to realize it to a level of detail that's never been done before in any medium. So we created this open world over which the game takes place, and I think it's really a love letter from us to DC fans. I think they're going to love it and really enjoy it, and it's something that I'm really proud of. The team have done a phenomenal job with that.
We have another question here, also from the UK, which is, you're from the UK, and both questions are from the UK, so somebody do the math. But Ellis from the UK wants to know, with the Suicide Squad game that's coming up, will we be playing as every character from the squad or just one? And if it is just one, which character is it going to be? Because want some help killing Superman?
Well, the game itself, the structure of the game is it's a 1 to 4 player co-op game. So if you want to play single player, you can totally play single player. I mean, our mantra has been that you play this game how you want to play it. So if you play single player, you'll still have a full squad with you. You'll have 2 players, 2, 3, 4 will be filled by bots who will fight along with you and really join in the fun and obviously give you that squad experience. But if you want to play multiplayer with your friends, that's still absolutely great. They can join in and take the role of the other squad members. And the great thing is that that's a dynamic experience. So you can play some of the story single player, some multiplayer. The whole game is accessible, single player, multiplayer, in and out of those 2 modes, however you want to do it. So it's really something that we just want to give up to the fans and let them choose. And of course, if you're playing single player, the other cool thing is you can even switch between the characters. You're never locked to any particular character for any particular section of the game. So you want to play as Deadshot, jetpacking around,
the
sniping
Batman
enemies,
games with the
that,
whole
and then boom, just instantly switch to playing as Harley,
multiplayer
swinging
group
around
games,
and flying into enemies with a baseball bat around the head. So there's so much freedom in the way you play the game because we really wanted to get across that feeling of being a whole squad and not just one person going on this mission.
Lastly, I'd like to know, if it's okay with you, if can I be in the new game? I'm not saying Task Force X. I'm just saying maybe just like a random handsome guy who's, hanging out in Metropolis, just being handsome and dodging chunks of debris.
I think we can maybe make something work, Will.
Great. Well, then it's settled. That's awesome. That's the contract. Thank you for joining us, Sefton. It's the game looks absolutely spectacular, and it will be better by the appearance of me as an NPC.
Sure thing, Will. Good luck teleporting home.
Oh. I made a huge mistake.
Are you kidding me? That game looks insane. Talk about
all right, guys.
tables.
I am right there with you.
Get into the main event now.
In fact, you know what? I officially challenge you to a game.
I mean, we've been hanging out with the fans all day, but we also have our fan questions.
I have so many questions, Sam, but I'm actually going to hold them for Matt Reeves, who's going to be joining us here very soon.
Okay, Grace, I'll tell you what. Why don't we go and chat to James Gunn and see what he has to say when I asked him my question, which was, if you could be a Suicide Squad member or which member you identify with the most, who would it be and why?
I probably identify with Polka Dot Man because he is completely an outsider who's a mess, who doesn't know what's going on.
What is his power? He just throws polka dots at people and explode or something?
But I wish that I could be... I guess I wish I could be Ratcatcher too, because I think she's the only character that has any sense of herself and any grounding in sort of a human sort of way. So I really like Ratcatcher.
So she just got rats?
There's one I wanted to be.
Okay, that's it for me. Let's head on over to Aisha to end the show. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was killer. Guys, there is no place that I would...
Fucking hell. I'm nervous.
Things, DC.
I'm
so
nervous.
I've got to pinch myself right now to make sure I'm not dreaming because we have the man who is starring in the next feature film incarnation of one of DC's most popular characters of all time. We're talking more than 80 years here, guys. So ready your bodies, because here is the Batman.
God.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh, God. Okay.
As many of you probably already know, we were in the beginning stages of production when COVID hit. So now I'm very anxious to get back to work and continue to form this beloved character. I've always been a massive fan. I'm not really allowed to share anything, so I'm going to hand it over to the great Matt Reeves, who's somewhere around here. And
is he awake?
He can determine what can and can't be talked about. But I do know that if you stick around till the end, there's a cool surprise. So I hope you enjoy.
Matt, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. It's great to be here. So, as Robert said, it's super early to tell us much about the movie, but I think what's exciting about where we are with DC and with this franchise specifically
so
is that
nervous.
there's been a multiverse of Batman, right? And now you're taking over this particular iteration of Batman. What made you want to tell a Batman story? I mean, this is a heavy lift. What was it that drew you to this character in this world?
Look, I love Batman, and I've loved Batman since I was a kid. And I never even imagined, when I began making movies, that I would
be a believer.
Do genre movies, because I just loved certain kinds of movies that were very character based. And it's really interesting that as I got deeper into genre, I realized that was a way to do very emotional stories, but under the guise of these sort of great mythic tales. And in particular, what excited me and the thing I related to in the Batman story was that he isn't a superhero in the traditional sense. He might have a cape, but he can't fly. He's like you and me. But if he has a superpower, it's the ability to endure. And not only the ability, but the kind of compulsion. And so that idea of being that driven by your past and by the things that you can't quite resolve in yourself, like he's a very alive character. And to me, to tell a version of Batman where, again, it wasn't about how he became Batman, but it's about the early days of how he is Batman, and he is so far from being perfect, and watch us sort of see him becoming what we all know about him and see it in new ways. I felt like that was a way to do something that hadn't been done, and that was really what I was excited to be able to do in this iteration.
You have said that all of us imagine ourselves or have imagined ourselves to be Batman, and I know that's why I love those stories from the time I was a kid, because he didn't.
Sorry. I just don't want to fucking.
Good.
And that's the thing. The other question is, what is good? One of the things that I think is interesting is learning how to be Batman. The whole idea, this is all an experiment in the movie. The idea is that we're in year 2. It's the Gotham experiment. It's a criminological experiment. He's trying to figure out sort of what he can do that can finally change this place. And in our story, as he's in that mode, that's where you meet him and you see that he is charting what he's doing, and he's seeing that he's not having any of the effect that he wants to have yet.
I'm nervous.
Is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe sort of the history of Gotham in a way that only reinforces what he knows about Gotham, but it opens up a whole new world of corruption that went much farther. But as that story starts to come out, without being an origin tale for him, it ends up being something that touches on his origins. So you start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that? And that sense, I think all of that is a way to take a story that is a detective story, a very point of view story, a mystery. It's got, of course, action, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even though it is the story in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
It's so layered. I'm really excited about it. Speaking of what we know about Gotham, you've revealed some of the characters in this story, and the casting is just extraordinary.
They're amazing. I mean, we have, Paul Dano plays a version of the Riddler that no one has ever seen before. And it's really exciting. He's such an incredibly creative actor. And so what he is doing, I think, is going to blow people's minds. And And then to have, Zoe Kravitz, her iteration of Selena Kyle.
Yes.
To me, that's incredibly exciting. You have an iteration that you've never seen of what she's doing, but it touches on all these kind of iconic sort of things that people know from the comics. So it's always about trying to square what you sort of
I love his enthusiasm.
What also is new. And
I'm gonna
that's
say that.
really part of, I think, the exciting sort of process of making a Batman movie, which is to find a way to make it your own and to find a way for the actors to make it their own, and yet still connect to all these things that people also go, oh, that's my Selena. I know who that is. And I guess the one thing about the Rogues Gallery is that it actually, in a weird way, is the origins of a lot of our Rogues Gallery characters. So, like, Selena isn't Catwoman yet. That's actually part of the journey. Oz is not yet the Kingpin that he's going to become. He's the Penguin. In fact, doesn't like being called the Penguin.
Okay.
And the Riddler is just emerging for the first time. So that's all incredibly exciting. And then we have, to have Andy Serkis, who is, I work with on the Apes movies. He's one of the most beautiful actors, and he is playing an iteration of Alfred that I feel like people have never seen before, which is really exciting to share with people. And then we have an incredible, for me, I just think that Jeffrey Wright
Gordon
is just one of the great actors, and to be able to work with him in a totally new iteration of Gordon, and then we have the amazing John Turturro, who's going to be a Carmine Falcone, who, again, I think
that's right.
in this
I forgot about
iteration,
that.
you've never seen that version before. And how all these characters connect, I think, for me, was one of the challenges, but also exciting things about the creation of the story, which is that in going on this sort of desire to solve, or the urge and the compulsion to solve this series of crimes, you touch on all of these iterations of the beginnings of these characters, so that the whole movie is it's like a snowball rolling. You can just feel the momentum building and building, and that's the attempt.
It's exciting to be able to talk to you in the middle of making this, this incredibly rich undertaking. And you're an incredibly busy man, not just this film. It's just announced that you're going to be working on the Gotham PD series you're developing with writer Terrence Winter. How are these two projects going to dovetail? How are the series of films worlds going to overlap or connect?
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, the idea of this story was a story in which Gotham, which has this sort of depth of corruption, and then the idea that we could actually do a series that is going deeper into an aspect of it, which in this case is the corrupt police department, the corrupt inner workings of the city, and the way we're going to do the series, which is, I'm incredible. Terrence Winter is just like an incredible writer. So the idea that we got him to do this, just is literally a dream. And the idea is we go back to year one, and year one is the beginning of the emergence. It's the first appearance of this masked vigilante that starts to unsettle the city, and you start to see the story through the point of view of these corrupt cops, and one in particular. And the story is actually a battle for his soul. And he's a cop over generations, and the history of corruption in Gotham is enormous.
Oof. I'm getting nervous.
From the comics, but others totally new. Then you can go down an avenue and go into detail that you couldn't do in a movie, and to go into these sort of rich places and meet entirely new characters that Terrence is going to create. I'm incredibly excited about it.
It's awesome. I mean, like I said, it just dimensionalizes that multiverse that much more and adds that much more depth to it. Now, as you know, Matt, here in the DC Fandome, it's not just a celebration of all the superheroes and the villains that we love, but most importantly, it's a celebration of the fans. So we have some questions for you straight from the fanverse, okay?
Okay, cool.
Here we go. All right. This question comes from Arvin in the UAE, and he asks, when it comes to costume design and the collaboration processes behind it, to what extent were stars able to implement their own influence within the design?
That's a good question. Actually quite a bit. We have, of course, an incredible costume designer, Jacqueline Duran, and the bat suit was designed by Glyn Dillon, and they're geniuses. It's great to work with them, but one of the things that's really important is being able to work with the actors. Like Rob had a very important part in designing the suit, in that he had to be able to wear it, he had to be able to fight in it. And one of the things about this bat suit is that it's very practical. The whole idea is that he's made it himself. And so we needed to be able to sort of see how it would fit on him in these ways that he could move, but also looked like it was something that was still evolving. And even the idea of the story, he's in year 2, so he's been wearing it. So he goes every night looking for trouble. So you look at his cowl and you can actually see there are gashes in it. And all of that detail was an incredibly exciting sort of dialogue between me and the costume designers, and then having Rob involved. And so, yeah, I mean, the actors have a lot to do, because you always do a dialogue with everyone so that we can arrive at the thing that feels the most grounded, the most honest, and the most character-based.
I'm just hoping everybody got pockets.
You know what? I will tell you this. One of the big things that Rob actually talked to Christian Bale, and Christian Bale was like, just make sure you're going to be able to relieve yourself. So all of that sort of was actually part of what was important to build into it, which is like, okay, he needs to be able to put it on. He also needs to be able to live as a human being.
Okay, here's a video question from Pedro in Brazil.
Hi, I'm Pedro from Brazil. And I believe that one of the most important things about the whole Batman mythology is not just the characters such as Batman or the Joker, it's Gotham City itself. So I wanted to ask you, what should we fans expect to see from Gotham City in this film? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Like, it's just as important as any of the Rogues Gallery. It's sort of like the nature of what this place is and the history of it is critically important to our story. And one of the things that I really wanted to do, because it is the center of this story, especially the history of corruption in the city, was I wanted to present it in a way that was really fleshed out. I wanted it to feel like an American city you'd never been to. I mean, other iterations have, obviously the Burton one had very, very theatrical, beautiful, beautiful sets. And Nolan had the version that he created in Batman Begins, and that was a particular thing. And then parts of Chicago and parts of Pittsburgh. And what we're trying to do is create a version of it that you haven't seen before. So some of the locations that we've chosen, the idea is to take, let's say there's we have like a Gotham Square. So that's like Times Square, right? Now, if we shot it in Times Square, then you'd be like, I guess Gotham is New York. But in our case, it's actually going to be Liverpool. And the idea is to go to Liverpool where there's all the sort of the foundation of the Gothic architecture, and then add all of the more modern structures through CG, but in a way that you're gonna, when you see the movie, now that I've blown it, of course I've told you what it is, but you'll be like, hey, where's that city? Where did they shoot? And so the aspect of Gotham,
that's nice. That's a good touch.
For me, one of the great pleasures in getting to mount the movie.
That's amazing. Evla from Germany says, it's already known that the movie is going to explore Bruce's second year as Batman. How do the citizens of Gotham perceive the vigilante?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's still early and because he is a vigilante, which means he takes the law into his own hands. I mean, if you were in a city and there was a guy who dressed up as a bat and showed up out of the shadows and sometimes confronted those people and beat them up because he felt what they were doing was wrong, so that he could sort of put the fear of God in them about the crimes that they're committing, I think we would wonder, well, gee, that guy sounds a little dangerous. He's not yet the vision of the character that he becomes, where he becomes a symbol of hope for the city. He's earlier in the trajectory. And so they're afraid of him, frankly. He's kind of a growing legend. I think there are some people who are wondering, does he exist? How exactly does he exist? And that legend is building day by day and has been since he made his first appearance about 1.5 years ago, as we were in year 2. So yeah, the public is afraid of him. I mean, that's one of the things I think that he will confront in the course of the story, and that Rob has to sort of deal with in playing the character, which is the idea of how he's perceived.
And speaking of Rob, Aditya in Indonesia has a video question.
What was the best part of Robert Pattinson that he was chosen as the new Batman?
I mean, the thing about Robert Pattinson is he's an incredible actor. I feel like the work that he's done in the last, 6 years has been incredible. Like a friend of mine made a movie called Lost City of Z, and Rob appeared in that movie, and I was like, who is that guy? He had just such charisma, and Rob in the movie has this incredible beard, and you're like, who is that? And it's Rob. And Rob in The Rover, and Rob in Good Time. He is like a chameleon, and he's just such a gifted actor, and he's been working on his craft in this really incredible way. And he also happens to be a tremendous, passionate sort of fan of Batman the way that I am. And so it was an incredible thing to be able to connect with him and to share our excitement about the character and to work with him. I mean, he looks like Batman, but more than anything, he has the soul of someone, I think, that can play a Batman like you've never seen before.
Andy from Australia asks, how long did it take to build the Batsuit, Batmobile, and Batbike? And did you have to build a set to create the Batcave?
It's funny. It's like stepping into your childhood in a certain way, because, obviously the first thing you have to do is you have to craft a story that you think is worthy of the character. But then once you've done that and it becomes like, oh yeah, we're making this movie, one of the things you have to do is you have to design a bat suit. You have to design a Batmobile. You have to have a bat cave. You have to have bat bikes, all of the things that he's going to have. And so, for me, that's been one of the exciting things. And that happened even before we were quite done.
Sorry, I know.
We'd already gone through passes, and it was quite clear what the vision of the world was being. While I'm writing, I actually already have a production designer on. And so he would be sending, as I'm writing scenes, I might send stuff to James, and he's like, oh, well, what about this for a bat cave? And so, yes, we had to build a set for it. But I think it's an incredibly original and different set. I think it's going to be really fun for the audience to discover what version of exactly this bat cave is going to be. The Batmobile and the bat suit, they took a long time. Glenn came on quite early, and we worked in the designing of it again as I was writing, and the idea of him being able to fight in it. And so they started illustrating, and I'd say we spent easily a year to do the bat suit, and then to get into the Batmobile, and that, of course, that part's a dream. I mean, you start the idea of getting to do your own version of the Batmobile is like you're just kind of like what? That's the incredible candy, right? Like the telling of a story is the hard work and trying to make sure that you're doing the right thing. And then when you get to dive into the idea of this car that, again, feels connected to this version of the character, a grounded version of the character, this is something that he built, and to try and look at those kind of rough seams and imagine how all that works, it's been an incredible sort of gift to be able to do that.
So much fun. Alejo from Argentina asks, what will be the main difference between this Batman and the other incarnations from previous films?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think, as we said, it's not an origin tale, and you're meeting him in the early days. And for me, what's really important about this iteration is that
enough of the question. Show me something.
Stories are very much about how he had to master his fear and master himself in order to become Batman, and that in that Batman state, he's sort of in his best self. And I think for me, what was exciting was not doing that, not doing the origin, not doing what we'd seen done so beautifully in other movies, but instead to meet him in the middle of this criminological experiment, to see him in the becoming of Batman, and to see him make mistakes as Batman, and to see him grow and fail and be heroic, do all of the things that we associate with Batman, but in a way that felt very human and very flawed. The biggest fantasy, of course, as a kid would have been to be Batman. And so the idea of putting the audience in the shoes of that character.
Wouldn't it be waiting this whole time and he just shows us pictures?
The way that he feels. I think that, to me, I hope is what's different about what we're doing, is to try and do it in exactly that sort of manner. And then, of course, the other things that are from the earlier history of the comics, like him being the world's greatest detective and how he got there. Those things have been touched on, but I don't know that they've been as central to the plot as they are in this particular Batman. So there's a lot of things I hope that will be totally different.
Cliff from Australia asks, what's one deep cut comic fans might be surprised to see has inspired the Batman?
Enough of these questions.
For me, because I wanted to get into the mindset of the character and I wanted to think of the psychology, for me, I think one of the cool deep dive ones was Darwin Cook's ego. He's confronting the beast that is Batman, and it's there's a kind of duality. I mean, there's a lot in what I was trying to do in the story about him confronting the shadow side of himself. The degree to which you have self-knowledge, you're able to understand your motivations, but he's broken, Batman. So while he's doing all of these things for the reasons that he thinks is right and that have a heroic sort of grounding in them, there's also many things that are driven by the parts of himself he doesn't yet know. And so I would say that kind of sort of psychological Jungian shadow side, that sort of version of it is very much connected to that vision from Darwin.
No more questions.
From Ego.
Yosef from Bolivia
Fucking
says,
hell.
which non-Batman movie were Matt Reeves, yours, inspiration for the Batman?
Oh, well, because the movie is a detective story, because it is a thriller in the sort of cop world, and because it's about corruption, we're treating this Batman story as if this could have happened. I mean, the idea is that, as I said, Batman doesn't have this sort of the ability to have sort of super heroic powers. He just has super heroic focus and super heroic drive. And so for me, a lot of movies like Chinatown was a key one, because Chinatown, Jake Gittes, in investigating that sort of the series of crimes that were part of that story, he discovers the depth of corruption in Los Angeles. And so in that way, it's like a classic noir. And that's very much the series of murders that Batman is investigating are very much in that mode. So Chinatown was a really big one. And that idea of that kind of gritty, flawed, this humanity of it, that was very much inspired by those kinds of movies, by like French Connection and other sort of cop movies like that. I would say even a movie like Taxi Driver, the description of a place and very much getting inside of somebody's head. And I guess a lot of really sort of 70s street grounded stories.
So, Matt, one of the exciting things about the Batman as a character is that he's so layered and so kind of intense that you can dip into his life at different points, and none of these different characters, these different iterations of the Batman or Gotham or the entire kind of Batman universe as it was, will tread on the ground that others have already covered.
Oh, totally. I mean, for me, that's exciting. Like the idea of the history of Batman, like just the idea of the actors who have played Batman, like Adam West, when I was a kid, like Adam West, that was like, when I was 5 and watching him as Batman, like that blew my mind. I wanted to be Batman so badly. And then I remember when I was a little bit older and then Keaton came onto the scene with the Burton movie, I was so excited they were going to do a theatrical version of that. And then the iterations that have followed, like so many incredible people. I mean, Bale was amazing. I mean, incredible. Everything that Chris Nolan was astonishing. And I personally love Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was incredible. Like an iteration again that we hadn't seen. So like, in fact, I'm really excited because I know that they've got Zach is going to be doing the new Justice League cut of his that he didn't get to do originally, and now he's getting to do it. And I can't wait to see that. So for me, the idea that there are sort of, first of all, to be a part of history like that is an incredible thing.
There's not going to be a teaser. I mean, a trailer.
That's one of the things. It's kind of like the comics, you know.
It'll probably be like a little ass teaser.
There are so many iterations of Batmans. There are so many different people's Batmans. There's Neil Adams' Batman. There's, of course, there's Bob Kane and Bill Finger's Batman, and there's Frank Miller's Batman. There's so many Batmans, and so to me, that's one of the joys of being in the kind of comic book world, is to try and say, hey, what can we do to put our spin on this so that people can find a new way of looking at that character that they love.
I remember when the Dark Knight graphic novels came out when I was a kid, what a radical departure that felt like, how exciting that was.
Oh my God.
But it didn't erase all the ways that I had connected with that character previously. It just made the world richer and, more exciting. So.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's this strange thing of wanting to be able to find a way to come at it in some new way, and yet it has to be connected to that thing that you love. And that, for me, being part of that history and being part of all of that is sort of almost unbelievable. You have to pinch yourself.
So, Matt, before we wrap up, I think that what the fans really want is to get just even a tiny glimpse.
Oh, hold up. I'm doing it. I want this shit to be perfect. I want to analyze every fucking thing.
At Comic-Con and all of that, you don't come without anything. And, look, we've only shot 25% of the movie, 30% of the movie. So there's so much. This is just scratching the surface, but there was no way that I could come here and not bring a look at the movie. So, yeah, I'm incredibly excited to share what is just the first tease of our movie. And I hope you guys like it.
Oh, God. Fucking hell.
From your secret friend. Who?
I like the tones. Ooh, he looks good.
Having a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you? You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you? If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Whoa! This guy's crazy.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
I'm so excited for this film. It's amazing that you only shot, a quarter of it, and it's already feels so robust and intricate. And I can't wait to see the finished product. Thank you so much for being here with me and with all the fans around the world who are so excited for this film. I know I speak for them when I say that we are all super pumped for the Batman.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I'm really excited that we're going to get back to making this movie. So
that looks really fucking good.
Guys, a huge thank you to the fans around the world for your dedication to DC, and honestly for being the inspiration behind the whole DC fandom itself. We literally would not be here if it wasn't for you. You're awesome. And for those of you who are just joining us now, stay tuned for the
That looks really fucking good.
Show starts from the top in just a minute. That is right.
That looks really fucking good.
Programming in this incredible Hall of Heroes coming your way. So if you took a bathroom break and missed even a minute, do not move because the show is going to go on again. This is your opportunity to get exclusive insider information and special looks at your favorite characters and comics. Plus, don't miss the amazing art submissions and cosplay costumes sent in by you, the fans. On behalf of all of our global hosts from around the world, I'm Aisha Tyler here.
Yeah, that's great and all. That's great. That's great. Yo. That looked really fucking good. I humbly eat crow. This is just a chill. From what I've seen, I will eat it. Seeing Robert in the Batsuit in action was fucking amazing. And you guys know how I felt about Robert in this. You guys know how I felt about the suit. Robert hit me in the face with a lot of humble pie. Wow. The way it's filmed, holy shit. It is filmed beautifully. The cinematography, Gordon looked amazing. Now, I still don't like Robert as Bruce Wayne. From even in here, the way he looks and all that, I'm still not sold. I still don't like it. That's going to be the job of the movie in its entirety to get me. But as Batman, that motherfucker looked good. When he came up or ran up on Homeboy and just started giving him them pieces and kept, then he hit him with the vengeance line. Matt, I never had a problem with Matt Reeves. He's one of my favorite directors. That man is amazing and brilliant. This shit, even Zoe, her fine ass in that skin tight suit, the things we got of her was great. Looks like Riddler's really a prominent, bad guy in this. I love the way Robert looked in like just in the costume with no mask and like all the black makeup all over the place and them all. I like that. He looks good there. But as Bruce Wayne, I'm like, I don't know. But Batman in that suit is fire. That suit is fire. Logan, if you're watching this, you win. You got it for now. But holy hell. Wow. Wow, and wow. Wow. That was amazing. Guys, I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about this. Probably within the next few days or so. But right now I gotta get to a lot of editing and break it down and releasing individual videos. But man, this has been an amazing experience. Everything that they dropped has just had me just I'm gonna take it all in. But guys, thank you for joining me during this whole day of streaming and through all the different parts and being there every step of the way. I thank you guys. I love you all. Like I said, be on the lookout the next few days for all the videos dropping. You guys already know, you've been here and you've seen it, so you know what's up. But wow, this is a lot to take in. This is a whole lot to take in. But thank y'all. I love you. And here's the next few days, man. God damn. I don't even like pie. I gotta eat that shit.